So I'm Dan Myers, and this summer I was out in Los Angeles at Pacific Crossroads. And that church is, to tell you a little bit about it, it's about 10 or 11 years old. And the original planter kind of burned out, left, and so they did a restart about, I think about 4.5 years ago. And at that time, the church was at about 200 people. And they brought on their senior pastor, whose name is Rankin Wilborn. And in that time, in that 4.5 years, it's now grown to 1,600 people. And so they are basically structured around small groups and worship. And so they have 70 small groups that meet throughout the city. And what they're wanting to do is take sort of clusters of those small groups and begin planting churches through there. And so it was a great opportunity to go there and just kind of see that vision, a little bit different vision than I've experienced and heard of. So that was the church. My mentor was kind of the number 2 guy there. His name's Marshall Brown. And so his main roles at the church are overseeing small groups and then also kind of overseeing the planting vision. So he was a great guy to work with. I had 2 big projects that I did for Crossroads. The first one was a community group leaders training manual. They had an existing manual that was really big, a little over 100 pages, and they weren't happy with it, so they kind of Project One slapped that to me and said, "We don't like this, rewrite it." And so adding content, taking stuff away, making it a little bit more kind of user-friendly. So that was a huge project that I got to do. The second project that I did for them was a demographics project. And so their small group structure, they basically have kind of 7 regions across Los Angeles that they have small groups meeting in. And so I took those 7 regions and did a big demographic study on those and kind of compared the demographics of those regions with the people that they have living there now, and that was a great project, great opportunity to study the area more for myself, and it answered a lot of questions for them and posed a lot more questions for them. So those were the 2 projects I did. On top of that, I also had the opportunity to preach 4 times, and those were all 4 at different churches. One was a Baptist church, one was a just kind of mainline evangelical church, and then 2 PCA churches. And one of the benefits of being at Crossroads for the weeks that I wasn't preaching was being under Rankin's teaching. Just looking at the growth of the church tells you he's a pretty dynamic leader, and his preaching is incredible. And so kind of sitting under that preaching for those 4 weeks and getting to study that and see the difference between what I've learned here and kind of borrow from that, and then be able to take that into to the pulpit and experiment. And that was a just incredible opportunity that I wouldn't have had outside of doing this internship. And then kind of the 4th aspect of my internship was doing a lot of meeting with people. So there was a lot of meeting people that are in the church, meeting a lot of ministry leaders around town, spending a lot of time with non-Christians. I'm originally from LA, so I have a lot of relationships there already, so it was great to be able to go back and meet with people that I know, a lot of non-Christians that I know, and get to tell them about what I'm doing, and that opened up some incredible gospel conversation as well. Just give you a little story. There's one couple that my family met with. I went out with my wife, and we have 3 daughters, 4, 6, and 8 years old. So we got to meet with a lesbian couple that has 2 children, and we've known one of the girls since college, and so we actually had a couple evenings to spend with her and her family, and again, just talking about kind of what we're doing, and it was an incredible time, some great gospel conversation, And it was also just a great confirmation of the call to come back there and to be ministering to the people that we have relationships and with the kind of ministry that we feel God's calling us into. There was a lot of artistic people that we got to spend a lot of time with, and again, with my artistic background, it was just, again, another great confirmation of, wow, God's really calling us to this place. And being back there, again, just grew our burden for the area and our passion, and so it was a great experience. For my family, it was really good. It was challenging at times, for sure. We had a sublease lined up that fell through on our drive on the way out, so that was kind of crazy. We had some friends out there though that offered to host us, and so that worked out well. But I think for us, just again being in a place for 8.5 weeks that's not our own, with other people, having 3 young children, that was challenging. So trying to think of kind of the other benefits. One of the advantages to doing an internship like this at a place where I would like to be and like to be on staff and be one of those planters is really getting to see the ins and outs of the church and see a lot of things that there's no way I could get a sense of with a phone conversation or a weekend visit. And so it really helps shape a lot of the questions that I need to ask, and shape the dialogue that we're having with moving forward. And again, without being out there for a significant period of time, I just feel like there's no way I would be asking the questions that I'm able to ask now. So that's our time.
Okay. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.